Good day, everyone, and welcome to the world of the International Fab Talks. Fab Talks is all about connecting with people who have beautiful minds, who would love to present themselves in the way that they have, shaped their thoughts and ideas for progress. And today we are being joined by a special celebrity and guest all the way from Chennai. Is Mr. Vytheeshwaran Vedagiri, a person who's very concerned about how to improve the things around him, how to improve the environment around him. In a very positive way, he's concentrating on training and development. Let's know more about his journey. He's also connected with music. Join us, friends, to welcome our celebrity and guest, to learn from him and to get the wisdom that he has to share. His wisdom also will create an impact in our minds. We also become people with good thoughts and views. Hello, sir, and welcome to the session.
Hello.
Thank you very much for being here with us, sir. Thank you so much. I'd like to go ahead and share your profile in a brief way, and then we start the session. Thank you, sir. So, friends, it's always a joy and a pleasure to learn from people around us. So we have several people who are ready to share their thoughts and views, their experiences to enable you to understand your life. What we want to share and on this platform is inspiration, encouragement, positivity, and of course, dignity for everyone. So friends, I go ahead and share Sir's profile. Sir is with us. He is, as I earlier mentioned, Vytheeshwaran Vedagiri. He is the founder and principal L&D consultant. When it is L&D, it is learning and development, friends, at VYLEARN. He epitomizes versatility and expertise across multiple domains. Now, how? That we'll get to know. With a robust background spanning how many years? 15 plus years. That's wonderful. In instructional design and training for Fortune 500 companies. He is a sought after international master trainer. Alongside his professional accomplishments and his commitments and projects concerned with the professional side, Vytheeshwaran is a seasoned Carnatic music vocalist. That's wonderful, sir. That's a beautiful passion that sir has, and has also adapted himself and connected himself with composing music and managing a music school along with his better half. And if you want to know who is the better half, that is his wife. He is very creative and he runs an audio video production studio. If I get that right, I'll put it for you in the right way, friends. His creative side or the creative endeavors extend to running an audio video production studio, curating podcasts and music programs, and enabling the inner creativity of an individual to bloom out in the right way. And not stopping there, he's also a skilled theater artist. Just look at the profile. Being a trainer, being a professional, and as well as having all these other aspects to your personality, being a vocalist as well as a theater artist is really wonderful, sir. Recently, captivating the attention of the audience. And guess who and how? You'll be really surprised with a wonderful performance for the Indian Armed Forces. And that's really nice. The audience really loved his presentation and his skill at how he was able to, attract the attention and keep them glued to their seats. So that's really nice, sir. Vytheeshwaran's blend of artistry, education, entrepreneurial spirit makes him a perfect gentleman to stand out in this universe and to, be a source of inspiration to the youth, the middle-aged, the senior citizens, not only in India, across the world. We want people like this being able to share their journey in the right way with the right kind of people. So join me, friends, to get more knowledge and information about Sir's journey and how you could become the next Vytheeshwaran Vedagiri. Hello, sir, and welcome to the session.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here with us. It's really a pleasure and honor to have you, sir. So now I've just shared a brief introduction about you. We all would love to know it directly from you. How would you define yourself? And in what way would you like to share something about your journey?
Absolutely. So, first of all, thanks a lot for having me here. It's a pleasure to spend time talking to all of you today. So, I consider myself as a very creative person and someone who always wants to try new things every day and want to learn new things from people all around me on a daily basis. So, that is what is my core ideology, and that is how I function. And like you said, I come from a family of teachers, so teaching and learning has always been my passion. So as I grew up, I watched my grandfather, my uncles, they're all teachers. So I watched them teach, and that's how I got inspired into teaching and learning. And I was very clear about my career right from my school days that I wanted to be someone who should be in the education industry. I mean, at that point I thought I should be a teacher, and then as I went into college and all that, I got to learn a bit about learning and learning psychology, and that's how I got into the field of instructional design. And I also come from a family of musicians and music artists, so right from the age of 5 I was put to learn music, and I've been formally trained for over 17 years now. So it's a very brief introduction about myself.
That's really wonderful, sir. And I really love the way you said that you're into training and teaching and coaching. That's really nice. So, how do you feel this experience of being in the field of teaching and training? How does it feel?
I think this is one of the most rewarding fields, according to me, because when you teach someone, it is not only them who are learning something from you, you also have an opportunity to learn from them. Because one of the things that I really enjoy about teaching is getting the questions from my audience, because every time they ask a question, they make me think, they make me revisit my thoughts, my ideas, and they really help me to become a better person every day. And that's one of the most important things that I really like about my job.
That's really wonderful, sir. That's really nice. The questions that are being posed and you working on them and having a new set of ideas. When you are into this field of teaching, you always have this transformational mindset, always on the go, always learning something new. It could, yes. You get to learn also from your group of students or maybe the group of clients who are in front of you. Yes. Now, dear sir, you are also connected with music. And at a very young age, you were introduced to music. And before we go ahead further into the session, I'd like to know how was your experience and the feeling of joy when people appreciated your performance for the Indian Armed Forces, and how did this happen? What is all this about?
Okay, so my friend has a theater group, and he was asking me to get myself involved, and well, it didn't really materialize because of my professional commitments. And then they came up with a subject on the 1971 War of Independence, where India helped in the creation of Bangladesh. So that topic really hit me, and I told I should get involved in this, and I played a role in the play. And this was curated by the NCC Udan, and we did a premiere show at the Guru Nanak College in Chennai, and members of the armed forces were there. They were really impressed, and they wanted to have a show at the Officers Training Academy in Chennai, and we are in fact the first theatre group in India to have ever performed for inside an Officers Training Academy campus, because as you know, civilians are not allowed in there. So we had the rare privilege of performing for them, and we had the Southern Command of Indian Armed Forces attending it, and we had a lot of veterans who fought in that 1971 war. We had veterans from Kargil war who were all present in the audience, and it was such an honor to really perform for them and to get to even meet and talk to them and find out how wonderful they are in person, and really getting to thank them personally for all the service that they have done to keep us and our nation safe. So it was such a rewarding experience.
That's really nice. Thank you for sharing. And you also shared that there were several veterans who were there and several people over there, like who shared their experiences. Connecting with them really gave you a lot of satisfaction. That's wonderful. Now, so what kind of uh, project you all had to present there? What was all about? Was it all about music, or was it some drama or something like that?
This was a drama. So we did a reenactment of the 1971 Indo-Pakistan War, which happened in Bangladesh. So we did a reenactment of that.
What was your role?
So I played the role of a Pakistani who got to surrender to the Indian Armed Forces. So it was such a rewarding experience, and I got to work with a lot of veterans from the theater industry, and again, even that proved to be a lot of learning for me, because I'm not very experienced in theater. I mean, it's been always a passion. I've done a lot of public speaking and all that, but theater is something that's very new. And here I get to meet people who are like 40, 50 years into theater, and I learned so much from them, and it was such a privilege to perform for our Jawans.
That's really nice. I really appreciate that you've taken the step forward to do something for our nation and to make them feel good and to bring back those positive memories of the sacrifice that the Indian Armed Forces have been doing since ages. And of course, in the 1971 war, which you have mentioned, I mean, it's concerned with Bangladesh and all of that. Thank you very much. Now, sir, we come down to the instructional design. What is this? What is instructional designing? Me as a commoner, like I don't have that much of ideas to what it is. There are several people like me, to be very honest. So if you could elaborate and give us a clarity of that.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a very simple definition for instructional design. At the core of what we do is we work on how the human brain learns. So, what are the things that go in to make a positive learning impact in the brains, in the minds of a human, is what we do at the core in instructional design. So, it is basically designing of instruction for your audience. So it can range from, so this instructional design is basically a science of learning, which means that depending on the nature of the audience, whether it is school kids or whether it is folks who are doing college, or we are talking about professionals, or whether we are talking about people who are in the labor industry, across the entire gamut, how humans learn is what I work on. So since this is a science, my subject matter is, I am subject matter agnostic, which means one day I'll be writing educational material for class 2 or class 3 students. The next day I'll be working on a project which involves building of a nuclear reactor, for example. And then it could be building a rocket engine, to it could be something in finance. So every day I get to work on something new.
That's quite surprising. Like, how do you balance, like, from juggle up from one place, like, to another, and the mindset, like second class and third class, you said, and then again, you're in another space. How does this happen?
So this is basically depending on it depends on the science of learning, where, so I, more than the subject matter, what concerns me most is my audience. So I think from the perspective of my audience. So if I were a third grade student, would I be able to understand this material? How would I like this material to be taught to me? If I were working in a nuclear power plant and I were supposed to operate, let's say, a switchboard over there, how would I like someone to teach me how to operate that switchboard? So that is what I work with at the core, and then there are a lot of instructional design principles and theories that go into designing and constructing those modules.
That's really nice. What's the best part of what you've just shared now? I like to explain it to somebody the way I want someone to explain it to me. I want it in a very simplified fashion. We as little now me also, I just can't take anybody's teaching method. I want it the way that it enters into my head.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
one of the key things that we do in instructional design is what we call it as a learner's need analysis. So we actually go and interview our learners. So we find them, okay, what are the things they like, what is that they don't like, have they been in a similar training or a learning scenario, what are the things that they liked in those sessions, what are the things that they didn't like. So when I get all this information, I say, okay, so they say that they like this, so why do they like this, what is in it that they like, and similarly what is in it that they dislike. So I take all this information and then I come up with a strategy for creating a learning program for them.
That's really wonderful, sir. That's really nice. Now, sir, you as a student, maybe below the age of 11, before you enter your teens, how was that life? How was your childhood? Was it a happy one? Were you the mischievous one? Like, what kind of a childhood you had?
Okay, so I was a very quiet child. I mean, I usually occupy the last benches. Like I was very introverted. I didn't used to talk so much, and I was more into my arts and music and all that. So that's where I was kind of focusing, and academics was sort of secondary for me. I was not a very bright student in school, so I was like average. So neither good nor bad, sort of hitting the middle road. And I was very quiet, minding my own business kind of a person.
Yes, I get that. I could visualize you sitting on the last bench, that's and I was recollecting where did I sit? Like I would sit somewhere in the middle, but then again, we had this rotational process. Like every week, you keep changing your desk. I mean, the bench where you sit, the
Mhm.
position where you're sitting. So that we had that rotational one. So then we even came to the first bench, went to the last bench. So that's
Okay.
what I remember from my schooling days. Now, sir, any incident you remember with regard to your school? It could be right up to 10th class. Any wonderful incident or a painful incident it could be, which has transformed you? Because we find nowadays children being very sensitive or oversensitive. We can't say oversensitive. We could call it sensitive. They're sensitive. Maybe unable to take the harsh realities of life at school, at home, and even while they commute from school to home. So, what kind of an incident you'd like to share with us? A positive one, or maybe a painful one, where you learned how to face the realities of life?
Okay. Yes, I think I can think of one incident. I think this was when I was in 8th standard. So we went for a music competition. So we had a group of about 6, 7 people. So we were a troupe. We went for an intercollegiate competition. It was a very prestigious institution which was conducting the competition, and there were about 35 schools participating in it. It was a full day program. We did a phenomenal job. We were like absolutely sure that we are going to win one of the top 3 prizes. We didn't, and three. I mean, the other schools were also good, but we were really hoping to win. We didn't, and we went and checked with the judges, and they told us that we got the 4th place, which means no prize for us. But what we did was, in our hearts, we knew that we were winners, and we didn't want. I mean, a couple of guys were a little kind of upset, and the rest of us took it on our sport. I mean, it's like, okay, we got the 4th place. We are much better than 30 odd other schools, and from our perspective, after all the practice, we did a phenomenal job. So as a group, we went out after the competition. We went to a there was a small shop outside. I mean, we were 8th graders, so we just had about 50, 60 rupees in our hand. So we pooled all the money. We bought milkshakes for all of us. We had a phenomenal time celebrating as to how as a unit we performed, and we did our best over there. And I think that is what we need to remember as people is, it's not about winning, it's about giving your best. If you give your best, you are your own winner. I mean, this same group went ahead and won several other competitions after that, but as a group, I still remember how we celebrated, not losing, but we celebrated for doing our best over there.
That's really nice. And again, I could visualize you and your group of friends, that team of yours, having that milkshake and then celebrating
Yeah, we
hard
had
work and
enormous
effort.
fun that day.
Yes, that's really nice. Now, so now as we are discussing about your early childhood, I mean, your schooling days. So I'd like you to give out a wonderful message to all the young girls and boys who are still in their schooling phase as to how they should take on the harsh reality of life and how they should take on with their studies. If you could share any message before we move on to the next segment.
Absolutely. I think one of the key aspects when it comes to students who are in school right now is the importance of discipline, because that is the first area you need to get it right, and if you get that right, everything else will fall in place. Physical and mental discipline is extremely important, and if you practice this right from your school days, this will reap you so much rewards when you go in and to the next phase of your life.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing. That was really nice. So now I'd like to ask you about your connection with Fortune 500 companies. as to how this happened and what is it that you connect with these companies and what is it that you do? Is it the L&D,
Yes.
part of the thing that I would like to focus on? Is it that or something else?
It is with regards to learning and development. So what happened was I was working in one of the top 5 learning and development companies in the world as the performance consultant for the Asia Pacific region. I was in the L&D industry at that time for about 12-13 years, and I was taking care of all consulting for the Asia Pacific region of their business. And it was at that time when COVID hit us, so all of us went into lockdown. And one of the things that I noticed after all the dust settled in and we got kind of used to the COVID way of living our life is L&D actually picked up. A lot of industries took a hit during that time, but learning and development industry is one industry that picked up because people are completely working from home, and it's a new way of life, it's a new way of working, and people needed training for that. So the learning and development industry really picked up, and it was at that time I realized that okay, maybe it's time I started working for myself. So at the height of the pandemic, I quit my job and started my own practice. It's been almost 2.5 years to 3 years now, and it's going very well. And since I've been in the industry for 13 plus years, I had contacts in the industry, and I went and asked for business. And since I already have a working relationship with a number of them, I got opportunities to continue to work with them, and I still work with them right now. We used to be colleagues, now we are clients, and yeah, so that's how I got to work with. For some Fortune 500 companies, I work directly with them. For some, I work through some of my previous organizations for them.
Yes, that's really nice. Thank you for sharing. And of course, COVID has really done wonders too. It has really brought a lot of mass destruction, but at the same time, many people have benefited in different ways. Like as you've said, the L&D concept or the L&D, arena that has really peaked up at that time because many of them focused on learning and development. That's really nice. Now, sir, I'd like to ask you, as a teacher, as an instructor, as a trainer, as a theater artist, as a vocalist, which gives you immense joy? What gives you immense joy, to put it right?
Without doubt, music.
I guess that. Music. So that's really nice. Now, could you tell us something about music? What kind? You said, you are into Carnatic music, right?
Yes, it's Carnatic music. Yeah.
Yes. If you could just elaborate a little and share your journey with regard to Carnatic music, at what age it started, and do you still practice today? And
Yeah, absolutely. So I started learning at the age of 5. So since my grandfather was also into music, he made sure that I started learning at the age of 5. And I've been learning continuously ever since. And during my college days, I used to give a lot of concerts as well. But after entering the workforce, I've not been able to focus so much on concerts. But I still practice now and then. And my practice started waning a little bit before I got married. So after marriage, my wife is a professional musician, so she gives concerts on a daily basis. In fact, she is out today for a concert, and tomorrow she's traveling to Trivandrum for another concert. So she is full time into music, and I still practice with her. Whenever she practices, I sit down with her. We do a little bit of composing, and yeah, that's something that definitely happens. And for me, when my stress levels start off work up, I kind of switch off from this and spend some time with music. So I sing. I also play a little bit of the veena and the flute. They're all self-taught, and so I always have a flute on my desk most times. And yeah, so music is definitely a place where I go for solace.
that's really nice, sir. I'm really happy to know that. And I'm happy to know that even your better half, she is also connected to the music industry and to the music world, I should say. The best way to use the words here is the music world. That's really nice. Now, sir, you said that there is always a flute on your table. Do you have one right now?
Let me see. Actually, no, I don't have it with me right now because it's weekend, so all my music instruments are in the hall.
If at all there was one just now on your table, I would have requested you to oblige to play the flute for us. Nevertheless, I would request you, if you don't mind, if you could just get the flute.
I
And
can
yes,
just
dear.
just give me a second.
Yes, please. Yes, dear friends, Sir is with us now. He's going to play the flute for us, and we're going to have a wonderful time. Join
Yeah.
us now.
So I'm just going to play very, very small, just a small alap for you, so that just to give you a flavor of it. There's a small.
Enchanting. Enchanting it is. That's wonderful. I just closed my eyes and I was listening to it. That's really wonderful. Yes. And I'm reminded of Lord Krishna when he holds his flute and, brings that beautiful image. I mean, focuses on, when he plays the flute, his eyes are closed and he's like immersed into that. So I really like that. Always like the picture of Lord Krishna holding the flute and lost into the world of music and immersed in joy, happiness, and peace. So that's really nice. Thank you very much. It was a moment of great joy for me personally, and I'm sure for our guests as well. Yes, sir, over to you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for that. I mean, I'm a complete novice, and this is all self-taught, so not the best, but something that gives me mental peace. That's it.
Excellent, excellent, sir. And the same way, like all the youngsters, the middle-aged and the senior citizens, to pursue their passion, to take it forward. Don't give up. If you've ever been having any passion and you don't do it now, you're not into that, you can again bring back that beauty in your life. Focus on it. So that's wonderful, sir. You're a vocalist too. You sing as well. If you
Yes,
could.
that there I'm formally trained. So yeah, vocal is what I do. Mainly veena and flute is like something that I it's just self-taught, and I just play for my own personal joy.
Yes, sir. If I could again ask you and request you to oblige once more and sing a song for us, a wonderful one.
You want me to sing a song or do just a quick call up? I mean, just want to make sure that I'm cognizant of the time.
It's entirely up to you as to what you'd like to present for us. We'll be just happy to listen to you because
Okay, I'll just do a quick call up. Let me see.
yes.
Just switch on my.
So friends, it's really an interesting session, not only getting to know about his professional journey, but also getting to know about his extra talent with regard to music, with regard to theater.
Sure. Okay.
That was a brilliant performance, sir. Thank you so much. That's really very nice. And you know what's the beauty of your soul? You're so obliging, you're so polite, and so nice. I mean, we'd love people to be like this, down to earth, humble, and at the same time practical, connecting with the right kind of people. Thank you very much. And stay blessed. You have a lovely voice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, sir, just a few minutes ago, we discussed about college. You were like, when you were sharing, you mentioned college. So we spoke about your school life. We spoke about the companies you're connected with and all of that. We forgot to connect with your college life. What kind of a college life did you have? A colorful one, or the one where you bunked class, or the one where you were very studious in college? What was it?
It was actually a mix of all of this. So I had enormous fun in my college life. So one, of course, my college encouraged music a lot. So I went to participate in a lot of intercollegiate competitions and cultural events. I was the cultural secretary of my department. So we had lots of fun organizing events and all of that. And of course, bunking classes always came with the package. And one of the things that I also did was during my college days, I mean, this is more towards the studious part. Uh, for my undergraduation, I managed to get a scholarship because of my marks in 12th standard. So more or less, my undergraduation was free of cost. And during my post graduation, my fees was a little high. So what I did was, at that time, online tutoring was sort of a rage. So I built a website for myself. I went, promoted, networked with a lot of people, and I actually managed to get students online as an individual. And with whatever money I earned, I was able to pay my college fees and all my exam fees and my internship project. All of that I was able to sort of manage. So what I used to do is, mornings I'll go to college, afternoon a little bit of fun, evening I'll go for work. So I worked for a couple of small startups at that time. So I used to go to their office, take classes, and then I also had my own website. So from there I used to take classes. So I usually start my day at around during my college days. I used to start it around 5:30 in the morning, and I'll go on till about 11:30 in the night. So morning college, evening work.
Beautiful. That's really nice. A good blend, of being like focused for academics and as well as being able to earn while you learn. So that's really nice. I really like this concept. And those children who are out there always complaining that I can't pay my fees. So here is something that they could pick up. You could be multi-talented and you could go ahead. As you mentioned, you were able to pay your fees off. And yes, sir.
Absolutely, because see, every individual, I firmly believe in this, every individual has got a unique talent. And there is always demand for talent. If it is a real and genuine talent, there is always demand for it. So you can really work on capitalizing on that. And really, I mean, that's all I did. I mean, when I was in my during my UG and PG days, two things I was strong was on computers, and number two on my subject matter area, which is biochemistry. So I sort of combined the two and found a niche for myself. And I think every student, if you spend a little bit of time introspecting, just looking into yourself and trying to find out what you're really good at, it could be anything. Whatever you're good at, focus on that and see if you can network, connect with people who have similar interests. Something will definitely pop up for you.
Yes, sir. That's really nice. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing. Now, sir, you connected with us and joined all the dots with regard to music, training, and all of that. Now, I'd like to ask you one major question. Now, you are into the training sector, as you love teaching. Teaching is also one of your forte. So now I'd like to ask you, what is it that you see in a teacher? Or what did you see in a teacher or a lecturer during your schooling and college days? What aspect of you attracted you to a particular faculty member? Or
There
what do you think a faculty member should have in order to be the best in the eyes of all the students?
I think For me, there are a couple of things that I mean, when I think of all the teachers and professors that I really enjoyed learning from, I've done a lot of thought about this. Two things really stick out to me. Two things sort of are a common thread between all these people. Is number one is discipline. They are absolutely disciplined and they lead by example. If they say something, they live by those words. And if a teacher does that, I think you can't get more genuine than that. And that really inspires a student. And number two is a teacher's ability to empathize with a student. I mean, all students are equal in the eyes of a teacher, but they are actually not equal. So, from a learning standpoint, so you'll have to really understand each one of your students, where they are coming from, if they are behaving in a certain way in class, instead of just praising them or admonishing them, depending on whichever behavior they are exhibiting. You'll have to really think about, okay, what is making them behave in this manner? Is it something that's got to do with me? Is it something that I'm doing, or is it something that is going on in that student's life that is making that person act the way they act? So I had professors who would personally inquire each and every student, I'm not exaggerating here, as to how things are on their personal front and if there is anything that this professor could do to make that better. So I have had a few professors who worked actively on these 2 points that I just said, and till date I consider them as my role models and inspirations. For every session I do, I think of them and just pray that I'm at least half as good as they are during my session.
Perfect, sir. Perfect. I really like the way you shared this. I think this is the wow moment of the interview. A faculty member, a teacher, a trainer, it could be like the ones who are in control of the others and trying to, give out knowledge to somebody. You should just see if that student is really suffering at a personal level as well. And empathize, as you say, he or she has to empathize with the students. And that is missing, sir, because nowadays it's only in the educational sector only focuses on marks, and they don't even understand that what the child is going through, the turmoil that the child is going through. Like, as you said, all the children are not the same, they are not equal. I accept that, and they come from different family backgrounds. And when a child underperforms, it could be some very stressful reason that could be behind that child's low performance. It could be the family atmosphere.
It could even be the teacher. Maybe it's something that I do in class, some of my mannerism that might have a negative impact on the child. If there is something like that, I'll be most happy to correct myself.
Very true. Very, very true. Very true. And how we speak to the children, how we talk to them, that really molds the child in the right or the wrong way. Sometimes they have certain hatred towards, their teachers. In fact, I hated my biology teacher in the 8th class. Because she was quite rude to me whenever she spoke to me, because I was absent for quite a few days. And then when I attended her class, she was quite rude to me. So I hated her because she spoke rudely. I loved the subject, but I hated the person teaching the subject. And hence, I did not perform well in her subject. So I get that point very clear. Yes. So there's something now very important and crucial, which I'd like to share with you and ask you your thoughts and opinions. Now, there are several children. Being an academician myself, I'd like to ask you, we've seen children, from my side, I have seen children who come from traumatic backgrounds. And now as a psychologist, as a counseling psychologist, I've seen many clients coming to me and saying that, ma'am, we suffer from childhood trauma. And it's mostly the male children. The female ones are able to manage and balance their emotions. Either they cry it out or share it with somebody, and like they're okay with it. So the percentage is higher on the male side, where the male clients come and share their feelings that and say that we are stuck still with this childhood trauma and unable to come out of it. We blame our parents for destroying our childhood, and it's still in my mind and I can't overcome this. Now, you belonging to the youth of India, I'd like you now to share your thoughts and views, how one should jump out of this childhood trauma or that feeling of I am a victim or victim.
I think what you said toward the end, me being a victim, I think that is where the problem rises, and I think that is the attitude that needs to be corrected. Either they feel that they are the victim, or they feel that they are the cause for everything that has gone wrong in their family or in their work life or wherever it is. I think that is what is something that really needs to be addressed. And I think having a conversation with them, a mature conversation with them, and really empathizing with them. See, even when I say empathy, there are certain points where you can't cross. For example, a couple of years ago, I was working with a self-help group, and they were working on the rehabilitation of young women who are victims of rape. So if I have to go and talk to them, I can't empathize with them. There's no way I can empathize with them. I cannot. There's no way in the world I can understand how it feels like. Right? So for them, we'll have to talk. I mean, for people who feel either it is their mistake or people who feel that they have been completely wronged by the society, we'll have to focus on their positives. So we'll have to reinforce the fact that they have so much to give to this world. They have so much to. There is so much wrong with this world that they have an opportunity to set things right. They have the power in them to set things right. Now that they know what is wrong, now that they know what is bad, they can take this experience to the world and make this world a better place for others. They can help, they themselves can help students or any other people who are likely to undergo a situation like this. So I kind of believe in positive reinforcement in that direction and focus on what they can give and what they can contribute. Because one of the things that I have found while interacting with students and groups like this is these are people who are trying to find a meaning for themselves. Because when they feel that they are a victim or when they feel that they are the cause for all of the wrongdoing, the first thing that crosses their mind is what is my value? What am I doing here? Because this is what ultimately leads into this conversation on suicide. Because they lose their self-worth. The moment you try, because one of the things that I focus on when I talk to people like this is I try to establish their self-worth, that they mean something, they are here for a reason, and they are here to create some positive impact in the world, and also tell them, reassure them moreover that they are not alone, that there are people who are ready to go shoulder to shoulder with them and take them forward in the journey and help them create a meaningful impact on this world. So this is what I personally believe when I talk to people who sort of go through this victim phase or feel that they are the cause for all of the bad that's happening around them.
Yes, thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts and views with regard to that question that I put up. Thank you very much. Now, sir, we'll shift the focus to something more brighter and happier, maybe. We could just shift because it was quite heavy, to share that, because pain is really not good for anyone. It could be physical or mental pain. It could we just deviate from that topic. What about movies, sir? Do you love movies?
Again, I don't think I'll be able to answer that because I don't watch so many movies. In fact, me and my wife, we kind of hold the record in our family that we've never been to a single movie after marriage. We've been married for 12 years now. We've not been to a single movie theater. We spend our time only on music. So whenever we get time, we just sit together, we practice, we attend a lot of music concerts. So that's how we. I mean, I don't even have a television at home. I don't watch Netflix, Hotstar, Prime, and all of that stuff. I don't have any subscriptions for any of those. I don't have a television at home. So it's only music for us.
That's really nice. I mean, it's something unique, it's something different. And you've also broken a record, and that's wonderful. Yes, that's really nice. Yeah, and nevertheless, you're focused with music. If not this, at least you are connected with the music world where you get a lot of peace and joy within when you connect with music. The right kind of music, which is according to your taste. Now, sir, what is it that you love about Vedagiri?
There is you're asking about myself or
Yes.
uh I mean I can only think from the direction of music is I think that I am fortunate to have developed a taste towards good music, and I have a mode, a healthy way of de-stressing myself. And also I'm always thankful for the ability the Almighty has given me to think about music, to compose and all that. I think that creative element in me is what I really like about myself.
Wonderful. The creative element, and you said a healthy way to de-stress.
Yes.
And this is a big takeaway for all of us. All of us should know the healthy way to de-stress in our own lives. For you, it is music. For me, it is reading. And for somebody else, it is something else. So we have to find a healthy way to de-stress ourselves.
Yes.
Whenever I'm stressed out, I just read something, some content. It could be online or offline. And then I feel good, such that my mind is diverted from that situation to some other thing. Yes. So I understand that you're immersed into the world of music, and that's really a de-stressor for you. Now, sir, what about friends? How good have friends been to you? Do you believe in friendship, or you say that friends are a big no-no for me?
I firmly believe in friendship. I've got some really wonderful friends, and I don't make friends very easily, but once I make friends, they stick with me for life. My closest friends today, with whom I'm still in touch with, and who I'm still WhatsApp almost on a daily basis, they've been friends with me from my school days. So I've known these people for like 20 plus years now, and they still have that connect. And probably once a month we get into a video call. We just exchange notes on what's happening with our lives, how are things going, what are our plans, and all of that.
Yes. Now, sir, with regard to time, now there are certain friends in life, like we've seen this across all, countries and across different genders, all the different genders, that your friends will only connect with you, not, it's only a part of the friends that circle, I'm saying the friend circle. A part of our friend circle connect with us only when they need help. They do not respect our time. When we need them in our bad times, they don't stand. But when they need help, they connect with us. So
See,
this is something, yes, sir.
see, I call them acquaintances. They are not friends.
Wow, beautiful, wonderful.
They are acquaintances. They are people. They are nice people who we know and who come to us for help. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we are here to help each other, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But the people who I really call as friends, whom I have the honor of calling them my friends, are people who talk to me, who message me without anything, with just the expectation that they've got a friend to talk to, a friend to share something with. That's it. So I've got a small circle of friends who are like that. The others, I would consider them acquaintances.
Super. I really appreciate the way you put that, you put it with lots of clarity. Acquaintances and friendship is quite different. And so then if they have a lot of expectation from you, they don't respect your time, and they are only like wanting to take out something from you but not to give. They want to take out 80% and give their 20%, and then they are called as acquaintances, I guess. Thank you for decoding that for me.
And one more thing that I would like to add over here is when you say about this giving and taking, I personally believe that if it is a friendship, there should be no talk of give and take. I have no problems in giving to an acquaintance, no problems over there. But I won't really qualify them as a friend. There's nothing wrong in giving. We are here in this world to help each other. So I have no problems with that. But just that if I would call someone a friend, it means much more than that.
Wow, that's so nice. I like your thought process. That's wonderful, sir. So friends, bond with each other in the right way and stand with your friends and family as well for the right reasons and for the right to create a right balance in your life and in their lives as well.
Yeah.
Now, sir, we talk about traveling. We talk in Hindi now. I'd love to hear your, the way you would like to, you will share in Hindi. I'd like to hear you speak in Hindi. Let me be.
Oh my God.
Yeah. थोड़ा सा हिंदी भी हो जाए, क्योंकि आपने कहा आपको थोड़ी सी हिंदी आती है, हमें भी थोड़ा सा हिंदी आती है.
Okay.
तो आप ट्रैवलिंग को लेके, सफर करना, ट्रैवलिंग करना आपको पसंद है? अगर पसंद है,
बहुत पसंद है. In fact, I travel quite a bit. I mean, in fact, even this morning I was out of town and I got back just about a couple of hours back. So I travel extensively, and I've traveled extensively across India, and of course around the globe as well. So traveling मुझे बहुत पसंद है.
दैट्स रियली नाइस सर, बहुत बहुत अच्छा है सर। अभी हम ये पूछना चाहेंगे, आप इतने सारे स्टेट्स आप ट्रैवल कर चुके हैं भारत में, तो सबसे प्यारे वाला स्टेट कौन सा है, कौन सा सिटी आपको अपीलिंग लगा, अच्छा लगा?
My most favorite will be Uttarakhand. State is Uttarakhand, and my most favorite city is Haridwar, because I find Haridwar is a city which is always having a lot of positive energy. It's always festive in Haridwar. You don't have a regular normal day in Hyderabad. Every day you will have all festoons put up. There's always music playing around, and there's always some celebration happening. So it's a very lively city according to me. So Haridwar is a favorite city for me, and I every year I go to the Himalayas for about 10 days, to kind of I get cut off from the world for 10 days. I have a different mobile number that's available only with my wife. So if it's an emergency, she's the only person who can contact me. No one else can. So I break for 10 days. I just go for trekking and just stay in some random village in Himalayas and just spend time over there. And I mean, Uttarakhand is such a beautiful state. There is so much natural resources over there. It's lush green, very calm, quiet, and wonderful people over there. I mean, across India, that's one common thing. People are wonderful in every single state. I've not been to a single state in India where I would say, nah, I don't like these people. I've never come across. I mean, they're all extremely helpful, irrespective of whichever state I go. People are beautiful, but I have a special place in my heart for Uttarakhand, because that's kind of the place where I go for my annual, uh, I mean, what do you call it? Digital detox, as I would call it. So for that reason, Uttarakhand is my favorite state. But otherwise, I like every single state over here.
Thank you, sir, for sharing. Thank you. And you mentioned digital detox, and this is really required for all of us. At one point of time, we really need to detach ourselves from the gadgets and all of that, and just take some time for ourselves connecting with nature. Yes, that's wonderful. Now, sir, if you get an opportunity to meet the Almighty, and you could put it like this in the right way, the Almighty or the universal energy, they come forward to give you a superpower, and they give you the chance and the option to select your own superpower. What would you select for yourself?
That's a very interesting question. I don't know. Probably.
This is the question you're stuck up for.
Yeah, because I don't think I need any superpowers. I mean, whatever I have is good. Maybe I would pray for better common sense for me and all the people across the globe. More common sense, more ability to think clearly and act rationally. If that is there for everyone, I think you don't need anything else in this world. Everything else is here.
That's a brilliant answer, and one of the best answers with regard to that question. I've asked many of them the same question, and I've got different answers, but your answer is one that stands out. That's
You.
really nice, to be a rational thinker and to take care of your thoughts, and that will really set the world right, because already we are blessed with so many things. That's really nice. Thank you, sir. Thank you. That's really wonderful. I know it makes me think like, oh, what a wonderful answer. Wow. It's a big wow. Now, sir, the next question coming up. If you were given a chance to go back in time and to relive somebody's life as a project work and then return back, whose life you'd love to relive?
It could be someone else's life if I could be in their shoes.
Yes.
Definitely Dr. Kalam. It's either Dr. Kalam or Swami Vivekananda. One of them.
Yes, that's really nice. Now, sir, have you ever found yourself being angry? And if yes, what is it that angers you?
Yes, I get angry a lot. More angry, more than I would care to admit. Yes, I do get angry. One of the things that gets me angry is people, if there is a lacuna when it comes to discipline and time management, it gets me a little angry, because I am very particular about keeping time and maintaining discipline. So if someone doesn't do that, it kind of gets me upset.
Yes, sir. You've been speaking about discipline all through this 1 hour, like which we've shared. Discipline is the main thing that is required in our lives. Once we are disciplined, everything falls in place, or we know how to balance things. And
Yes.
your time management. That's really nice. Thank you very much, sir. So before we go on to the next segment called as the rapid fire round,
Okay.
I'd like you to focus on any other aspect which I missed out on this show. Like, is there something else you'd love to share which I didn't focus on?
I think you covered a lot of things. One of the things that I would once again like to highlight is, when we are faced with adversity, we must always focus on looking at the silver lining. Even the darkest clouds do have a silver lining. So always focus on what is the positive, or what is the good thing you can make out. I mean, you will feel like you are at the bottom of things, nothing around you is working out, but always keep an eye out for something positive. There will be something positive even in the worst of the worst situations, and I think we need to hold on to that positivity until the dark clouds pass and we move to better times.
Thank you so much. That's a big takeaway for me. And like me, there are several people out who just would want to hear what Sir just shared now. Look on the brighter side of life. Everything will fall in place. Thank you. You're very, you know how to connect and give the right kind of answer. And I didn't even question you. You just gave that. It came out very naturally. That yes.
Now, I was talking to a friend about this a couple of days back, so it was
Uh-huh.
right up on the top of my head.
Yes, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. That's really nice. So even a dark cloud has a silver lining. That's beautiful, sir. With this, we'll go on to the rapid fire round. I'll take another 10 minutes from you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for being polite and patient. Thank you so much. So friends, now it's the time for the rapid fire round to get to know the likes and dislikes of our celebrity and guest. We spoke on various topics and we've got a lot of information and wisdom from sir. We'll get to know about his likes and dislikes. So, is it tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Your favorite month?
April.
Reason? April is the present one, right?
Yeah, my mom was born in April, so my favorite month.
You say that and it really makes me happy that I love people who love their parents, and especially the son, when he gives the due respect to his mother, I really feel good because I have two sons, so then I could really connect. Now if I could ask you one incident before we go on to the next question, one incident where you could share about with regard to your mother, like did she scold you or did she pamper you, or in what way, any incident with her, it could be just
My
anything.
mom had a healthy mix of both. If she decides to pamper me, she'll pamper me to no end of the world. But if she decides to scold me, it's a wooden ruler. So it's always been a healthy mix of both, and I think that is very important, because while I think, because all that I do today, all my behavior, right from, I was talking about discipline and time, and you said I was talking about this entire hour. All that was inculcated in me by my mother, because she was very particular about discipline and time management, and I think it's a set of values that she gave me right from, I guess, when I started understanding what she spoke, until while she was around. I think that is what is still guiding me in all the things that I do today.
That's really nice. Thank you for sharing, sir. Thank you so much. Your favorite week, not week, if I put that right, the favorite day of the week.
Um, I would say Saturday.
Yes. And sir, is it comfort or style?
Comfort.
The insect that you don't like.
I don't like any insects.
Yes. Do you believe in a second chance?
Absolutely.
Your favorite snack?
Vada.
Are you also a person who likes ice creams?
Oh, I love ice creams.
Your favorite flavor?
Vanilla.
Yes. We go on to the next question. Now we have the modern gadgets in our hands. Almost all of us have a mobile phone. So do you feel that texting or calling is much better?
I prefer calling.
That's great. That's great. What is that one thing that you love about the universe?
I love everything about the universe.
That's great.
I can't single out anything.
That's wonderful, sir. How would you explain or define a wonderful day, a perfect day in just one word?
A day with learning.
Wow. So you are a learner all through, you started off with learning as the start of the session itself, we focused on learning. You said that I am a learner still. I learn some and I connect with students as well. And so there's a good connection now here when you share that. That's really nice. Now, sir, did you spend money on anything and regret it later? Like, oh, why did I buy this? It's of no use now.
Um, yeah, I think I have.
Is it just once or many times?
Yeah, a few times. Let me be honest.
You're very honest and very true, very
You do a
transparent.
lot of. I mean, sometimes you go. There's one small thing. You just have to buy it, and then you realize I don't need this. So yeah, I've done that.
Very true, sir. Very true. And you're very honest on that. Most of us do that, including me too. Yes. Now, with regard to food, what kind of food appeals to you, to your palate?
South Indian.
I mean, or like
South
anything
Indian cuisine.
specific?
South Indian cuisine is my favorite, and I mean I like all kinds of food. South Indian is closest to my heart. After that, if you want my favorites, Italian and Lebanese.
Yes. If it was the South Indian dish to be prioritized, which one would you prioritize amongst the others?
Dosa.
Yes. Are you a good cook too?
Yes, I cook.
Great. That's really nice. That's a life skill.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, that's a life skill. And every one of us should have this life skill. At least survival cooking we should learn.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can do full cooking, like right from sweets and savories to regular food. I can do everything.
Wow, that's great. Now, when you mention sweet,
Hmm.
what are the different sweets that you prepare and which is your favorite one?
My favorite is always the halwa.
Which halwa, sir? Which one?
Wheat or badam, both. I like both halwas, and I prepare both of them as well. It's very hard to prepare, but the fruits of labor are very sweet. So I love preparing the halwa. It's very hard to prepare though.
Yes, I really get that point. It's very hard to prepare halwa. And of course, the fruits of labor is very sweet, as you mentioned that. But when I try to prepare the halwa, somehow the consistency doesn't come well. And then I really get agitated
You'll
and
have to
irritated. And
keep stirring it constantly. You'll have to keep stirring non-stop for at least an hour. If it's just a
yes,
small pot of halwa, it requires at least 1 hour of constant stirring. You
very
give it a break, the consistency will go off.
very, very true. And thank you for giving us the secret now as to how to do it in the right way. Thank you for that. So, when you're all alone, and even you have no musical instruments beside you, your gadgets are not with you, not a book as well to read, all alone in a room, an empty room,
Hmm.
you're alone. Where do you think your thoughts take you? Because you have nothing to do but then just get connected. This starts working more faster. So, where does that take you?
I'll focus on music. I'll sing. Because if I'm left alone, that's the first thing that I'll do. Maybe then probably I'll sing for some time and then probably think of something else. But first thing, if I'm left alone in my room, first thing that will come to my head is music and start singing.
Wow, that's great. You love socializing or me time?
Me time.
A beach, a forest, or a mountain person?
Mountain.
As you mentioned, the Himalayas and all of that. So that
Yes.
again joins the dots. So the best gift that you've received till date?
Um. I mean, after concert, when I was, I think, in ninth grade or something, my mom gave me a hug and told me how proud she was of me. That I think that's the best gift I've ever got.
I'm sure your mom will really be happy to hear this.
Thank you.
That's really nice. Wherever she is, she's really going to feel blessed to have a son like you to share, all those beautiful memories with her. And you said that was the beautiful gift. That's really nice. Now, sir, with this, we have one last request from you. It's not a question, but it's a request.
Yeah.
In the form of 3 magical words. We'd love you to share your thoughts and give us 3 words. Apart from please, sorry, and thank you, you could share any 3 words to empower us.
I could think of words of Swami Vivekananda: arise, awake, and stop not until your goal is reached.
Excellent. Arise, awake, and stop not until your goal is reached. This is for me and for you, my dear friends, for all of us. That's a wonderful one that you've shared. It's a very powerful message that you've shared towards the end, sir. Thank you so much. And I look forward to many more interactions with you. You're one nice person who has shared everything very transparently. And of course, you've had a lot of practical thoughts put into place. And you did not just, let it go with the flow. You've just given the truth, the fact, and then you let it, pass through the entire 1 hour that I spent with you. I never knew how the 1 hour passed. I'd like to thank you for playing the flute for us and singing a wonderful song as well. It was really very inspiring. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Same here, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dear friends, with this, we come to an end to the International Fab Talks for today. Do share this video with the right kind of people. You never know who would be inspired by all that was shared today. There must be someone out there who will be eager to listen to what was being shared today on this platform. And if you like what the International Fab Talks is doing, connecting with unsung heroes and with people who are focused on building not only themselves, but building the community, building a happier space for one and all. Stay tuned with us. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Have a wonderful day. God bless. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.